Hey everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome back to Space Engineers on my channel. So today we're talking about the RWI Prometheus, one of the key ships in the Space Engineers Colony Alliance YouTube series. If you haven't seen the series yet, go and watch it. You are missing out on what I think is one of my best storylines as of yet. Anyway, today I want to come here and talk a little bit about the ship and tell you why I designed it and basically why I've included it in the Colony universe, yada yada, you know, all that interesting facts. Will it be on the workshop? Not just yet, it's still got a few things to do. How we put it on there very soon. So straight off the bat, before someone angrily types it away, and if you've already typed it, the show's over for you. Yes, this is based off the UNSC Spirit of Fire from the Halo franchise, specifically Halo Wars 1 and Halo Wars 2. I'm a big fan of the Spirit of Fire. If you've ever known me, I'm a big fan of UNSC Infinity and Spirit of Fire, two of the iconic starships in the Halo universe. So when I was designing Colony Alliances, I was like, we need an expedition ship to get us to this planet and act as sort of eyes and ears in the sky, essentially. Naturally, the Spirit of Fire came to mind. So I set about redesigning a version and basically building it from the ground up. And I started with a few different variations before I thought, why don't we just recreate the Spirit of Fire? So I used Dr. Krause's Spirit of Fire. Dr. Krause is one of my really good friends, and he's actually built a size-accurate, not size-accurate, but a very screen-accurate Spirit of Fire before, which we used a couple of years back for a Halo Wars 2 cinematic.
Wake up. Something has happened. The Spirit of Fire is in a situation I could not anticipate. I'm certain Professor Anders would enjoy that little admission. So let's keep it between us, shall we? We've been adrift for just over 28 years. I've made quite a few repairs while you were sleeping. So ship systems are 100%. Cryo worked well, and med stats on all remaining crew are green. As for me, well...
As you can see, that cinematic was very good. Anyway, I set about using that Spirit of Fire to recreate my own version, upscale it. As we needed a bigger version for the show, it had a bigger hangars, as you can see, a bigger bridge, and just generally all around bigger areas, essentially. Regrettably, we didn't get to use every section of the ship which was designed for Colony Alliances, however, it's still pretty cool to explore and use these sections. So yes, it's inspired by a Spirit of Fire. I know a few people got a little bit upset about that, but hey, if you're inspired by something, why not use it? Obviously, I did not create the Spirit of Fire, however, I did create this version, and if you've been watching on stream for a while, or in my Discord server, you'd have seen I built the ship in front of us, aka the Prometheus, block by block. It wasn't just a resized up creation, it was a few things modified here and there, and we have changed a few bits here and there to make it a little bit more unique to sort of the RWI aesthetic, particularly where the red blocks are, and there's a few designs in general, particularly around the bridge area. Although it's replicated in a way, a few areas are changed to make it more RWI-esque in a way, and a few internals obviously. Now in terms of internals, many of you are going to ask about this, so let's move in and actually check it out. So looking at the rear over here, obviously you can see the sheer size of the ship, and hopefully the latest Colony episodes have given it away of how big Prometheus actually is. But when we come to the internals, there isn't actually much to talk about inside. I'm going to turn my headlights on a second. We're using some repulsors in here to move it. We had to use this mods to actually make it move on screen. But inside, there is hardly anything inside here. If we move towards the front sections, we do have some internals. These are the drone bays. They were meant to be built at some point, but were later abandoned. You can see them in the latest episode, in episode 14 and that, 13, 14. We do have the main hangars down here. Now, the main hangars are actually completed, and we do use these in Colony Alliance as well. You can see them in episode 1, where the dropships launch, etc. You've got the Joint Expedition Task Force here, and they're launching their ships. Got the old RWI logos on the wall. They do look fantastic still. And we've got the painting up here and stuff like that. It's still pretty cool to this. I think we had a tank in a shot. I can't remember if it did make it into the background or it glitched out and didn't make it into the background. Either way, I don't know. We'll have to check it out at some point. But there are a few sections here and there. Crew section through here. Then we start building a bit of an interior section to lead up and do this. However, this grid is so big, I've hit the physical shapes limit. Essentially what it means is Space Engineers, if you have too many physical shapes, you can no longer place any down. I'm not sure if I can recreate this in a bridge, but if we go up here a second and explore around. Hello, I am now on station. If I go in here and turn my headlights off or on, you can see sometimes if you place too many blocks around here, you will fall through the ship essentially. So I do get a warning when placing stuff, and sometimes if you place too much stuff, you will accidentally fall through the ship. I've fallen through floors multiple times while filming this. It's been a bit embarrassing because I've had to reshoot the entire scene, but oh well. Oh, did I almost fall through it then? Thought I did. Either way, this is the main bridge of Prometheus. We've got the RCSP symbol, Prometheus' own logo, which I really love designing this one, as Alex designed that one and brought it to life. We've got the new RWI Joint Expedition Task Force logo, and we have the CNL version as well, and of course the traditional one up here. As Prometheus is an older ship in the RWI universe, or Colony universe should I say, however it's still modernized to basically serve the Expedition Task Force. One of the big things is, if I knock my mouse the right way, we wrote Prometheus on the side here just to make it stick out. It does look beautiful. We've also got the aft hangar back here. Not really aft hangar, more of a central hangar where one of the Pioneers docks. We unfortunately don't see the Pioneers in Colony Alliance's dock to the ship, as again, we did hit that physical shapes limit. The idea was being that Pioneers would dock in that one up here, one would dock down here to connect it, so we have the connection point, and the others would dock along here, and basically all launch when the expedition's ready to go. We also have a few bays up here as well. These were removed and had a few issues, so not fully there. We was thinking of putting like more hangars here, so the drones had a section to like leave out of essentially, but instead we ended up putting them here, 2 smaller hangars, and obviously got a refinery and all that fine jazz over there. It worked really well. I also wanted hangars up here as well. I never got to use these, but I was thinking probably we should have more aft hangars, basically accessible to launch light dropships and various things like that. It did make sense in the end and fit really well. We also have this hangar area up here. Not really a hangar, more of a landing pad. So I was thinking a dropship for quick access to connect there. I think, did we build part of the interior here? We built a little bit of a stairs and out there, and a little sort of like observation launch pad. I like the idea of this, like observing over one of the Pioneers launching. It made a lot of sense. Got the antenna relay stations up here. We've got a few antennas on board the ship and stuff like that, just to bring it to life more. This is an expedition command ship after all. You are going to want that. Now we have the 2 or 3 flight tubes up here. These are stretching all the way back. These were lit up because I think we did use this in episode 1. We also have a 2 or 3 landing area. This is looking really cool. We didn't get to see this one. I think we see it in episode 13 or 14 when I poke my head through the door, but we don't see it that much, unfortunately. Either way, still good to have. Unfortunately, regrettably, one of the areas I didn't get to use was the observation deck all the way down here. So again, very much based off Spirit of Fire, and you got the observation deck. I really wanted to use this one, however, it's sort of timing and placement in a way. The idea was we'd open with episode 1 with Admiral Jack and Captain Reed, stood down the observation deck, observing the new planet they just arrived at. And when they're ready, they go up to the bridge. But due to the size and time limits, and keeping things active and just flowing in general, I didn't want to overdo it essentially. So we had to keep it there to a little bit of a degree, but it still worked either way. Now in terms of engine room, the engine room would have gone back here. I really wanted like a spinning reactor near the FTL drive. Again, just due to size limits and that physical shapes limit, we didn't get it. Hence why some of the corridor scenes you see on Prometheus, particularly the drone area and fighting off the drones, are set and filmed in separate set areas. Purely because we cannot fit it all in, which does make sense because, you know, this is a massive ship. I don't know if I have an Apollo to hand. I'll go see if I can find one of my ships and line it up next to it a second. Now, many people always ask me what the size of Prometheus actually is. Well, you saw when I stood on the bridge, and if you've watched the latest episodes, you'll see as well. But I've just stuck one of my iconic ships, the Daedalus class, this is the Zheng He actually, next to it, and you can see the size difference here. Essentially, it's just longer than 2 Daedalus classes sat next to each other, or sat in front of each other. And well, this is a big ship. I thought episode 1 of Colony did it justice. Apparently not. When you see it in the latest episodes 13 and 14, it does it more justice and makes a lot more sense. Either way, you can see the scale here. If I get a bit closer, you can see realistically the scale. This ship is small compared to this one. This expedition ship is a big boy, and it makes a lot of sense. In terms of engines, this is how we design them. Again, very much based on Spirit of Fire. A lot of it is taken from Spirit of Fire because it's such one of my favorite ships, and I love it, to be honest. Unique weapon batteries up here. I don't think we get to use these much in the show, which is unfortunate. Prometheus was designed as a ship that was an expedition one and kind of old, so a bit like SOF itself. However, we didn't really get to use much of its tactical systems, apart from the Vulcans and various things like that. Because it's not meant to be heavily armed. It's an expedition starship. It's meant to transport stuff there and get the job underway. They weren't expecting like heavy, you know, forces to attack them. Obviously, in hindsight, you know, should have taken along an escort fleet, but we do need a story at the end of the day for it to make sense. That's why it's like it. Anyway, I hope you appreciated my little tour around the RWI Prometheus for today. Will it be on the workshop? Yes, at a later date, and we'll do a whole dedicated cinematic for it when it does come to the workshop, so you can see it there and get your hands on it. For now, I hope you enjoyed a little tour around it. Yes, obviously it's based on Spirit of Fire. I know a few people did lose their minds over that. How dare somebody base one of their favourite ships or something like that. Either way, it's still pretty cool. Do let me know your thoughts on Prometheus down below in the comment section. Are you surprised at the size of the ship itself? I think it's massive, and I think it blew a few people away as well. Either way, let me know what you think, and leave it down below in the comment section. For now, I've been Captain Jack. Don't forget you can watch Space Engineers Colony Alliances here on YouTube every Friday and Sunday at around about 8 PM to 9 PM BST. For now, I've been Captain Jack. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.